curing cancer can now be discriminatory against people that have disorders, saying that it's actually genocide. That's pretty much the most retarded thing you've ever heard in your life, because apparently diseases are now a threat to disabled identity. That's right, people with diseases are part of the LGBTQ community now. Apparently that makes perfect sense. If you have a disease, that's part of your identity. If you want to get rid of the disease, that's actual genocide. Hello, welcome back to the brand new video of the crappy show on the internet. I'm your host. Welcome to 2019. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, me. This thing keeps not functioning very well. Tell you that much. I'm gonna try my best to make a new background, but in the meantime, I'm gonna do these, and I apologize for not uploading for the past couple of days because I forgot. That's why I did a video called I Forgot, because I forgot to make videos. I found this article by watching someone else review this article, so I'm now, the article is by the website plurus.com, and it says, activist slams curing genetic diseases as threat to disabled identity. It's actual genocide, as a quote. So basically, you know when you have a disease, right, and basically the doctors are trying to find a way to cure your disease so you can be healthy in the future. So like, they inject medication so you can be cured of the diseases, and the next apparently to these people, they're being all like, well, if you take away their genetic code, then it's destroying their genetic code for the future if they make children, and then their children won't have their genetic code. Well, it's like, wouldn't that be a good thing? So kids won't have strokes every 5 seconds on the freaking floor. But no, they want them to have strokes on the floor. Why? Because it's a disabled identity they want to say by themselves. Why am I like this? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I feel pumped for 2019. So let's do this, shall we? It's a form of eugenics, it says, in quotes. A permanent disabilities activist spoke against the use of genetic editing to eliminate diseases from birth because it would I don't know what that says, but okay, to a genocide, quotes, against the culture of the disabled. There's a culture for the disabled. Okay, cool. I mean, if I find a dude that's like walking around with one leg, it's like, wouldn't he want his leg? Never mind. That was a terrible analogy, but okay. Alice Wong, sorry if I got it wrong, who served on President Barack Obama's National Council of Barack Obama is now a console gamer now on disabilities, is the founder of the Disability Visibility Project in a December 19th episode of Flash Forward, a podcast that considers the social repercussions of hypothetical future developments. Wong, sorry if I pronounced it wrong, discussed the possibility of human embryo, which is gene reaches a point at which certain disabilities can be treated at or before birth and thus eradicated. Okay, would it be kind of cool to eradicate diseases? You know, not be sick and feel great when you wake up in the morning? Like, you wake up in the morning and be like, oh man, I don't feel like a piece of crap that might die any second now. Kind of like that. No, they want their diseases because it makes them feel special. Because it's part of their identity. And it's like, you know what? I don't want to be in a wheelchair. But they choose to be in a wheelchair. Okay, I'll say it again. They want to stay in the wheelchair. That's what I'm saying. Not saying they choose to be in the wheelchair. I mean, they don't really have a choice to be in the wheelchair. But in this logic, they want to stay in the wheelchair that they're forced to being in, instead of taking a cure to get them out of that wheelchair. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. And here's a quote saying, I quote, "We're talking about removal of diseases," she said. Another quote said, "That's forever. That's a change, a modification that will be passed on to future generations. So that's actual genocide." Genocide. It's a form of eugenics where certain lived experiences are seen as undesirable. Well, apparently you guys want to see your children being all like, okay, children is now have 3 limbs, and now apparently the mouth is on the foot, and next thing you know, it's dead, having a stroke on the floor while singing Kumbaya. I don't know why would someone want that instead of finding a cure so the baby comes out being all like, of Mama Papa instead of baby come out saying, ah! You know what I'm saying? Wong, if I pronounced your name wrong, I'm sorry, who has spinal muscular atrophy, if I pronounce it, I'm stupid, relies on machine ventilation. My life is better, in quotes, thanks to medical advances, she said. But when it comes to CRISPR, the gene editing tool that has recently been used for the first time on human babies to prevent HIV transmission, Wong, sorry for pronouncing wrong, is worried that the ethical implications have not been fully considered. Well, you see, there's this thing called advancement of human technology. You see, you have to start somewhere so we can improve to cure other diseases and sickness. If we don't start somewhere, we can't start ever. Here's another quote saying, a lot of this conversation around CRISPR is about the removal of suffering and pain and disease, she said. Another quote saying, whenever I hear stuff like that, they're talking about me, people of my community. Her concern is that the doctors having the authority to decide that's a life worth living by curing diseases which they consider to be disabilities. That, according to Wong, would constitute ableism, pure and simple. First off, I'm gonna look up the definition of ableism because I'm retarded. The definition of ableism is discrimination in favor of able-bodied people. How is that discriminatory? They're trying to help you to be able, if you make sense of that. How is that ableism? Doctors helping you to be cured of your disabilities? I'm pretty sure no one wants to just live in a machine that costs money, and they're just being all like, I'm in a machine and I can't stand up, like that kind of thing. No one wants to be that. And if they want to just, if they want to be like, you know what, I want to stand up and walk to the nearest subway, they should do that instead of being in a machine, being all like, ah, you know what I'm saying? That's why these doctors like to, help cure diseases instead of letting them suffer like that. Like, come on. Here's another quote saying, for people who want to do this to their own body, more power to you. But I do think that a preemptive alteration of genes based on fear, preemptive genetic alterations are based on the imagination of non-disabled people of what living with a disability feels like, she said. Just help people live. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on. Rebecca Coakley, who, like Wong, served on Barack Obama's National Council of Disabilities, offered a similar perspective in a Washington Post op-ed last year. She argued that disabled people are a community unto themselves and that eliminating their conditions means erasing the potential future of their culture, she said. Where is the line between the society perceives to be a horrible genetic mutation and someone's future? Okay, so are you saying that people with diseases should still have diseases because it's part of their culture? So when we look at all of those children with cancer, should we just leave them there being like, oh, we don't need to, cure your disease that slowly kills you inside your body? We don't need you to do that. It's part of your culture. You should just sit there and be proud of the fact that you're dying. No, that's not how that works. You see, when someone has a disease it's not fun to have diseases if you understand that. So when they say, I feel like I should go to the hospital, they're not going to the hospital to be all like, I think going to the hospital will be fun. If I go to the hospital, they might give me ice cream, play video games. No, they're going to the hospital so they can, not die and stuff like that. To be, have medication and stuff like that. They have problems, they go to the hospital. Broken leg, go to the hospital. A brain tumor, go to the hospital. Not, I'm going to identify as a chicken nugget, even though my genes tell me otherwise. I am going to the hospital to say otherwise. Like that kind of thing. Let's push back against something that, on its surface, appeared to be an absolute good. The eradication of disease seems like a natural outgrowth of the I hate words! Fragmentation of American culture into identity groups, usually defined by their suffering and sense of operation. The anti-ableism movement has recently softly protested even the Women's March for its reliance on walking. So now the anti-ableist movement is protesting against Women's March. Why? Because the women are using their legs to walk from one place to another. Okay, that's where we're at, people. I blame the anti-vax parents, because it's like, okay, if a child is sick on the corner, can't make it the past 3 years old, and is dying on the corner, what's the parents doing? They're saying, oh, it's who he is! He can fight it out. He's just gonna outgrow this disease! You know, outgrow the common cold and stuff like that. And next you know, he's just dying on the corner right there. Yeah, no one could do anything. And next you know, when the child dies, guess who's blamed? Society is blamed instead of themselves. Because guess what? Guess who should be blamed? The parents. Because the parents are like, what should we do? We gave the child a Native American medicine by throwing a bunch of dirt on his face. Why didn't that work? I chanted a bunch of wingo, dingo, dingus language at him, and then he still died. What happened? And I can still feel the presence of the dead child lingering here. So that's why I developed that second personality. When I adopted the child's personality into my brain. And now I'm on Dr. Phil. Like, it goes to that level of dumb. Starting with the facts, parents. Like, it's these people, just shut the hell up. It is not natural to just let someone just sit there and die. It is not okay. And this is what they're doing. They're protesting people for curing diseases. It's dumb. And now they're protesting against people for literally walking. They're not protesting the Women's March for their anti-Semitism against Jewish people. No, they're protesting against the Women's March because they're using their legs to walk to one place to another, using left foot, right foot. That's what they're protesting against. No wheelchair protests. No, they're protesting against feet. This is just stupid. I don't feel like watching this video they're doing. If I gotta watch this video, I'm just gonna be copyrighted instantly, I tell you that. My mouth, I haven't swallowed my spit in 5 minutes. I tell you that from talking this much. But guess what? I don't have a choice. I'm just speaking out of my mind. $5, my parents come down here and say, shut the heck up, stop screaming. No, I can't stop screaming because I'm being like, yeah. Telling like flash forward. Host Rose, I don't know your name. I don't feel like saying it. Couched wrongs, concerns, and the broader identity words. You hear people talk about how the removal of certain genres, genes, can make children's lives easier. Correct! Wouldn't it be easier for a child to live life without a disability? Correct! Perhaps that's true, she said, but there are plenty of things that they are easy to live with or without. It is scientifically proven that the lives of white, straight, cis men are easier than lives of pretty much everybody else. Because last time I checked, when I go on, press the sports button of the TV, and I see a whole bunch of tall black people. You know, look how oppressed those tall black people are on the NBA of basketball. Holy crap, man! Last time I checked, when I went on the E channel, I saw Beyonce, the most not privileged, the most oppressed woman of all, making billions of dollars of opening her mouth. Oh my goodness, when I see that one album of Drake, I always think to myself, he must be so oppressed, he must be homeless, he must be discriminated against because all that money he's not making. All that money he's making, he's not actually making. That's all fake news, because guess what? Apparently black people don't make any money nowadays. You get one again? White is the devil. Everything that's white must be eliminated no matter what. If we see anything that's white, we must eliminate it with a flamethrower. But we can't use a flamethrower because a flamethrower isn't black. And if flamethrower isn't black, it's also racist. If anything is out of ordinary white, we must protest against it. If we see an Arab man that says he likes Trump, we have to throw feces at his coffee shop. That actually happened. If someone says they support gays, then But we have to still make fun of them and bully them. Why? Because apparently they're white. Apparently, when two Hispanic women with the same skin color argue against each other that both have autism, well, guess what? We have to call it a white and black issue. But in reality, they're the same race, and they're both autistic. That actually happened. Anything that has to do with white is the devil, and if you disagree, then you are an asshole. Now it says, to be fair. Okay. The bounds have been developed between differently abled people are not unlike those any other community that develops meaning and attachments around the thing that connects its members. And if the CRISPR advancements do future one day, the debate about its ethics and cultural words would be poorer if not for prosperous words so counterintuitive to many, like those of Long and Corkley. I love the fact that they support the fact that, you know what? They're basically saying, kids should have cancer. Why? Because I don't know. Because identities matter. If kids that don't have diseases and then don't die, then they're cowards. We should praise the fact that all those children die of diseases every single day. All those anti-vax moms not vaccinating their kids, like, before 3 years old. Oh my goodness. And then the child dies. We should give them a round of applause and say it's society's fault. The fact that all these chemtrails in the freaking sky is turning all the frogs gay, but we don't want to focus on that part. We focus on the part that white people are bad and children dying is not our problem. It's your problem, white people. There we go. Thank you so much for watching this crappy show of the episode of the crappy show of the internet. I'm your host, me. So thank you so much for watching this crappy video. I already said that. Subscribe, do that. Thank you. 60,000 subs! This is really weird. Please make it go up faster. I want to see that silver play button so I can be all like, ah! Thank you so much for watching this episode of nothing. Please do me a favor and press that subscribe bell button. Because guess what? YouTube sucks! Hope you liked this video because you all know I didn't. See.